The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Brian Broaddus, Vach Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, season 21, episode number 91. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We're presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. Today we got the crew in, minus Miss Garcia. She is out today. Actually, she's going to be out the rest of the week. So it's just going to be us, man. Actually, it's just two of us by Friday because Brian won't be here Friday.
I got to go somewhere Friday.
On his birthday, of course. He's going to be out on us. So,
Boy, Derek, I'm going to stress you out on Friday. It's just going to be me and you on Friday?
Well, no. We have a special guest that will be joining us on Nick Eatman. So it'll be the three of us. But let me just tell you this. You can't stress me out, dog.
That I can stress you.
I've been through the fire, man. You can't stress me.
I start cussing. I start saying something that's going to get us, you
Look,
know.
I got a producer back there that can cut your mic. Quick. I'm not worried about that. You're not going to stress me. We're going to have fun. And we'll miss you, Brian.
Well, thank you.
We'll have fun.
Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm sorry I'll be out that day.
Hey, man, you got on your LSU gear.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking.
You excited about your new coach? We haven't talked about that on there.
We'll outspend anybody.
Go Tigers.
You know that's what we'll
Go
do.
Tigers.
Go Tigers. Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're gonna do things the right way at LSU. We're gonna try and I don't know, coach. The coach might hire me back. I don't know, you know what. But
That's pretty good.
That ain't bad.
That's pretty
that ain't
good.
a bad
On
coach.
the run,
Go
that's
Tigers.
pretty
Ain't a
good.
bad coach
I'll
on,
do
man.
them on radio. Like every once in a while, somebody will say something about Coach O, and I'll go, "Well, you know, Dawson, you don't know much about the football team. You act like you know the football team, but you don't know. You know, I know the football team. I know all about those Tigers."
Let me tell you
That's
something.
pretty good, man.
There's nothing better than winning the championship and getting bought out and just going to live your life in the swamp or something. Boy,
Man.
must be not. After the championship,
Yeah.
then you get your bread.
And then later they call you back and like, hey, you want to come
Maybe
coordinate the
come back.
offense, man?
Yeah.
Man, he chilling.
Hey, I
Yeah.
love that for him.
Oh, chilling. But
I love that for him.
It's college football, though. I hate to say this, though, and here I am. I mean, real quick, we're guilty of this. At LSU, we'll spend money and we'll go after your players and
Yeah,
all
we
that.
will
That's
too.
what this coach is about to do.
Yeah.
But man, this system. I was listening to driving in talking about Sam Levitt, the quarterback at Arizona State, and how he. 2 years at Arizona State, they have this, they're positive. The next thing you know, it's Arizona State can't pay him, so now he has to go somewhere else. We're in a system I think is broken. I'm all about paying players. I really am. I just worry about the levels of loyalty and all that. And there's no loyalties with the coaches either, too, the way that they go off and do things. So, it's difficult. And we all love college football.
Yeah.
We all love college football. But man, we're getting to a point in time now where I don't recognize this, and I'm worried about the future of it. And I think the future of it, though, actually will be some super conference, and then the teams that, if you went to a school that's not in the super conference, then you might be not enjoying football as much. That's what I hate.
I think at the end of the day, if you're gonna put limits on players with regards to their movement, because I think right now it is the Wild Wild West. It's basically free agency every year. If you're gonna limit that, then you got to do the same for coaches. It can't be one system for coaches, one system. I'm glad you said it like that.
No, I agree.
It can't be one system for coaches and one system for players.
Yeah.
If everybody's gonna abide by a contract, then everybody needs to abide by a contract.
I'd love to see, like from a coaching standpoint. And I promise you we'll get to the Cowboys here in a second. But I'd love to see from a player perspective, from maybe a program, whether it's Texas, Southern Miss, LSU, wherever, that to me that you have either a 1-year deal or a 3-year deal, that you sign this. If you tell me you're only going to be here for 1 year, then I know I can plan to do what I have to do. If you make a commitment to me for 1 year, I can live with that. You make a commitment to me for 3 years, then I'm like, okay, well then, hey, let's work it out this way and stuff. There has to be something. I think that people are talking about maybe you might see a deal where college football players or college athletes unionize and then you have collective bargaining ways of things like that. We've seen how that could be a little bit of a mess, or maybe some positive things.
But that might be the best way to get it to a point where it actually makes sense, because then you can actually say, okay, here's a contract, and for this amount of time, this team owns your rights.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how they make coaches abide by their contracts. I would assume it could be the same thing where for this amount of time, the team owns your rights.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to another team, that team has to negotiate for your rights to be their coach.
Absolutely.
And then it becomes something that's a little more equitable. But I just really think you're going to have to do something both sides of that if you're gonna put some limits on it.
I asked Brian today what we got to do to get our guy Flores over here.
Oh, Brian Flores.
This the league. This ain't got nothing to do with college football, but we just talking about coaches moving around. I was like, man, in week 15?
Yeah.
14, 15? What I got to do right now to get Brian Flores over here to call plays right now?
We ain't talking about that. We can talk about him.
I wish the league worked in this way. I wish that we had a athletic director and then Jerry to be like, hey, man, we're going to fire somebody in week 2. And we're going to have an interim defense sorry, Flus. We're going to have an interim somebody coach, and then we'll bring in somebody new. Whatever. Let's
that ain't going to happen in the NFL.
I'm telling you, we just all love college football so
really
much.
do.
We love it, and I'm happy the players are getting paid, but man, this thing it's getting way out of hand with the movement of it all.
Yeah. Well, I would love to see the day come where you have a super conferences. I think that would solve a lot of problems.
Well,
if you have two, honestly, the way I look at it is you take the SEC, you take the Big Ten, expand both those leagues out to include all the teams from all those other conferences that are worth being in that grouping, and that's basically your two conferences. That's your NFC and your AFC. You got one in the one that's kind of the Big Ten and everybody else there, and then you got the SEC and everybody else there, and then you go at it. And I think that would be a great way to do it. And then the two that come out of those two conferences end up in the college championship.
Well, I tell you what, I'd be coming in, Meyer, and I know we have a lot of people here that are North Texas grads. You know what they've done over there in Denton and all that.
Yep.
I admire the programs that have the athletic directors that can evaluate coaches.
Yeah.
Because every year North Texas gets picked by their basketball coach, leaves, goes to a better situation.
And they find another one.
Their coach, their football coach goes and leaves every year. Give me the guy or the gal that can run an athletic department that knows how to evaluate the coaches and talent and that. That's why, to me, those people are so valuable.
Yeah.
So valuable to programs.
No doubt. All right, let's talk a little Cowboys. What I wanted to do in our first segment today is I wanted to talk a little bit about special teams. This is a topic we haven't talked a lot about. We've talked about some of the challenges. I think earlier this week we talked about that because it was so apparent in this last game. But I don't know if we've talked about it from the standpoint of their return game. And I've heard there's more and more of this kind of this rumbling from Cowboys Nation of, and we're just not getting the same level of big plays in the return game that we've become accustomed to seeing. And so my question for you guys is, if you agree that that's happening this year, do you think it's a result of the unit, the coach, or the returner?
Can I go first there, Vach?
Please, knock yourself.
Go for it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I think you have a returner now that looks at himself as a starting wide receiver, or that type of a player. That I don't see the same. And listen, the blocking hasn't been outstanding, but you don't see that when you talk about Turpin and how he won that game for you in Washington last year, with his ability to go out and to make the plays, that he was able to make, it was just incredible. His ability to attack. To put pressure. I thought when they had this new kickoff rule that every time Dallas snapped the ball, it was going to be at their 48-yard line, much like you saw in the Detroit game. I think you got a player now that kind of sees him as a receiver, and I don't see the same kind of the attackingness. I don't see the vision. I don't see the hit the hole. I don't see the quickness, the burst, the pressure that you put on or that he one time put on opponents. And I mentioned they haven't been blocking it particularly well, but we've seen teams take advantage of even ordinary returners look superhuman. And Dallas has struggled with that. They've struggled with coverage, but your returner doesn't look like the all-pro guy that he was maybe 2-3 years ago.
Can I real quick? I want to ask you a question about what that looks like. Is that he doesn't have the same burst, doesn't have the same urgency? He's not seeing it well. Because when I hear you say that he's seeing himself more as a receiver, I'm having a hard time with figuring out how that means he's actually not a good return, or I shouldn't say not a good return, because he's still a pretty good return.
He doesn't want to injure himself.
Got it. That's what you're going to.
His way of making a living now is that he's an 11 personnel player. And do I want to put myself in harm's way to keep me from not being an 11 personnel player? That's his elevation of going in, and I don't fault the guy. He's now getting more offensive reps. And so if he's getting more offensive reps, what does that mean? Oh, we don't look at him anymore as a kick returner. We look at him as an offensive player. So when we start to talk about contracts going forward and things like that, he's got to maximize that. And I think he's trying to do his very best to maximize his receiving game or receiving part of his game, as to like he's okay with, okay, I'm going to be a returner, but I'm also, this is what it's in connection to him being a receiver. That's kind of how I look at it. It doesn't look like the same player returning the ball.
It seems like he's trying to take less risk, so I'm with you on that, Brian. But I think what we see from a lot of these returners, how they thrive in these situations, is just going.
Yeah,
just go. Like, whatever.
You got to be fearless to do that.
Whatever. And look,
and he was at one time.
And Turpin 130, 130, whatever he is. But now I see Turpin trying to set up blocks, and he's kind of joggy a little bit. And he does have the ability to like go and hit top speed immediately, but maybe it'll be better for him, and this may be a mental thing. Maybe it'll be better for him if he just fearlessly goes. Now that cat for the Lions last week, he's much bigger. He seems to be like a thicker build, so he was ready to just run into whoever the hell he was about to run into. I don't think Turpin particularly likes to run into people. Like when he's gotten hurt, it's been him getting like hit on like kicking teams, like not like hurt, but like he'll take a big hit and get up and go, woo, I'm 150. So I'm hoping that he's not gotten some fear out of getting thumped on kick return, because you really need that dude to help your offense. Like this offense gets backed up a lot, and the offense is good enough to work itself out of it, but this offense will probably put more points on the board earlier in some of these games if they had some favorable field position.
I would say this though, I think he's always had that same return style of kind of the jog, ooh, go. Because I remember even last year when he was having some of those bigger returns, I sit beside Nick in the press box, and it would drive him crazy. He's like, run. Oh yeah, he turned into something. So I don't think that that's a change in how he does it. I just don't think it's working this year. And maybe he's going to have to alter that a little bit and just take it and go. And because he may not have the same level of blocking to really set up blocks because guys aren't getting blocks. But the fact of the matter is, like, I think that's been a part of his game going back last year and the year before when he was returning kicks. That's my opinion.
And if that's going to be the case, then Turpin needs to not run directly into blockers and defenders. Like that's another thing that we got to see. And if
he is running into darkness quite a bit.
He's running right into people.
More than we've been used to seeing him for sure.
Yeah. Maybe not seeing it well, maybe not. I mean, there's all these things that are kind of factoring in, but there was a time where I felt like he had a really good feel for how to set things up. If it's start left or turn right, if it was press left and to get everybody over and then bounce that thing. We haven't seen that. It has been kind of go left, stay left, and get tackled on the 26-yard line.
And that's what
it's been.
That's what also makes me wonder. I don't know this for a fact, but it makes me wonder if it's more about the unit, because before he kind of trusted that darkness that he's running into right now was going to open up right at the right time, and he was going to be through it. And now he's running, and it doesn't open up. And so it looks like he's running into darkness when really he was trying to trust what was supposed to be there, and it's just not there.
Yeah. It ain't working.
It's not working.
The
whole thing ain't working. It's not working.
And
they're going to have to figure that part out, because I think there's some challenges. From an overall standpoint, right now, is there anything that they can do with their special teams? Because we've talked about the coverage units, we've talked about their return unit today. Is there anything they can do in season to be able to affect that?
As a boneheaded offensive dude, I really don't study teams in that way, Derek Eagles. But if I had to guess, I don't know how much the rule changes apply. Like maybe like we get a new rule change and they have a conversation about things. But I want to know, what was Bones kind of saying to him versus what is Sorensen saying to him, versus whoever, right? I wonder, like, is this a coaching aspect where they're saying, okay, well, we want you to look at it this way because maybe if you start this way and do that, it'll open up kind of like this. Run game kind of works in that way. Like, hey, this is your lane, but look there. Maybe Turpin's doing more thinking as opposed to I'm just running and being faster than everybody. But Turpin made a lot of money just being faster than everybody. So I would love for him to cut out the thinking aspect and just fly.
Yeah, I think that there's some things you could absolutely do about it, but the problem is you can't do it during the season.
Right. That's right. What can you do right now? Yeah.
No, let's be honest about Mingo. Let's be honest about Tolbert. Let's be honest about Schoonmaker. Let's be honest about guys that are out there playing. I mean, let's be out there honest about C.J. Goodwin, who is on this roster right now as a special teams player. You could go through the whole defense. You can look. Is Shamar James doing his job? That's a rookie guy. What's going on with Marquise Bell? Is he doing his job? There are guys in place that they have that they're these backup guys that are having to play, on special teams, but that's their job. I mean, you do not have a badass guy. C.J. Goodwin is supposed to be your designated special teams player. I could tell you times running down there and diving at tackles, missing tackles. I could tell you about a kickoff return where he's what they call L1. He's the farthest guy on the outside, and what they do is kick him outside, and now they run the ball up inside. If you're the designated special teams player that's supposed to be the guy that everybody knows and is like respects and is a leader and all that stuff like that, well, go make some plays. Yeah. Go get a block. I mean, how many times have we seen Dallas not get a block? Or how many? It's a hold on 86 on Schoonmaker. It's a hold on 50, Shamar James. How many times have we seen that where all of a sudden the ball gets out to maybe the 35 and now it's inside the 18 because you guys didn't do their jobs? Yeah, they need to look at overall the type of players that they're now, because Shamar James, it's really not an excuse for him anymore. He's not playing a lot of defensive snaps. Yeah. Him, Maris Leofau, those guys aren't playing a lot of defensive snaps. I see Maris Leofau run around there and bang around and knock into people and stuff like that, and I'm cool with that. Hunter Lipke sees kind of the same thing. But overall, they need to get better as a unit when it comes to their ability to block and give this guy a chance to run. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take our first break. We will come back. We're going to dive into the Minnesota offense versus the Dallas defense. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here, the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys. This holiday season, I've got Yeti's new insulated bowls and food storage working overtime. The insulated bowls are amazing. It'll keep queso warm or guacamole fresh. And the food storage containers protect my ingredients and help me stay organized. They also make great gifts for the host, making Yeti bowls and food storage MVPs for the holidays. Get yours at Yeti.com or a Yeti store near you.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to the break.
How about this? Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Welcome back. This is the second segment of the break. We're live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. This segment's brought to you by blockchain.com. All right. Let's talk about the Minnesota offense.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah.
Our contest winner, Nick, that's going to be in your suite.
Yeah.
He's in the comments right now. Nick C says, "Hey, Vach, I'm the guy who won the tickets last week. Salute to you. Am I going to meet you this Sunday?"
I don't know. Is he?
I'm asking you.
Why are you asking me?
Because I don't know.
I don't control your movement. How am I supposed to know if you're going to be in?
You don't control my movements, but you make a decision that'll make me make a decision.
What's the decision?
I don't know, but your contest winner says.
Tell me what decision.
I don't know what the decision.
We'll do our best to come by and see you. How about that?
No, you gonna be there.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna come by and see you.
I will do my best to come by and see you.
Me and Em are gonna go by and see you.
Because you have an employer that puts you in that place, Brian Bros. You feel what I'm saying? So when Nick says, "Hey, Vach, am I gonna get a chance to see you?"
Yeah.
Derek, is he gonna be able to?
I don't know. He's calling you out for not getting him a credential.
Is he gonna be able?
No, credential. You need a credential.
What that mean?
It means that you have a credential to go to the game.
I know what that means, but like, do I get the real joint or like? See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what I'm gonna be. I'll be sitting in the press box.
I want to be in the suite, and I don't want to get tackled by security.
Then that's what you should have said from the very beginning.
I want to shake hands with Post Malone in your private suite.
That's what you should have.
And Terrence Crawford.
That's what you should have said
and Nick.
From the beginning. And Nick,
because Nick gonna be there too.
You ain't caring about
Hell
Nick
nah,
right
Nick,
now.
we ain't gonna be there, dog. You gonna have to catch me on one of these other meet and greets. But all right, we can talk about the Vikings.
We'll talk about it later. All right, let's talk about the Vikings. They are 5-8 right now.
The man will grab the wheel, won't he?
Yeah, he will. They are and driving right off the road. You're right. They are 4th in the NFC North. They're coached by Kevin O'Connell, who is a really, really good coach. They are right now, when you talk about the points that they've scored, they're averaging about 19.6 points per game. They are 26th in the NFL in that category. But here's the interesting part. Last week they beat Washington 31-0, a beatdown.
They did.
The week before that, they lost to Seattle 26-0. Mm-hmm. During the season, they've also beaten playoff caliber teams like Chicago and Detroit. Yeah. Who is this team? It sounds like they're a bad team that on a given Sunday can be pretty good.
Mr. Eagleton, we gonna talk about the Vikings offense today, and that ain't the reason, but Cowboy fans know this more now than anything. A defense can either keep you in the game or to keep you out of it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what your offense looks like, if we look at Philly and how they operate, I get so jealous. The quarterback throw 5 interceptions or something, and then your defense go out there and get another one on Herbert or get a fumble on Herbert and get the ball right back to you. I think the Vikings defense kind of operates in that way. The Vikings offense ain't good. It ain't good. But just because they're not good doesn't mean that they won't have a good day versus Cowboys defense. I'm just talking about Vikings versus everybody else. The Vikings haven't been doing great things on offense, but it's not like they're getting smoked in these games because their defense isn't giving up all the points in the world. They're decent versus the run, but they're really good versus the pass. And, for example, you say a playoff team like the Bears. Caleb Williams is still a young quarterback. So Flores will dial something up pressure-wise and do some good things cover-wise that'll make things weird for Caleb. So you could be a better team, but styles make fights, matchups matter. Yeah. So to where blitzing may not affect Dak in that way, but it'll affect another quarterback like Jared Goff, who's not going to run around that much, or Caleb Williams, who will run but won't look downfield. So the Vikings don't get blown out at all, but they don't put up points either.
Yeah, I think to me, when you look at their offense, though, it really is about the quarterback play. They've had starts where, J.J. McCarthy, he hurt his knee last year, so his rookie year was really, non-existent. So this is like his first year. And you kind of feel like, though, that there's, coming out of Michigan, like, okay, this guy's tough, he's savvy, he's a winner, he's a leader, all these things. But you watch him, he makes the rookie mistakes as a quarterback. He will, you'll see him in the pocket. Sometimes, Votz likes to say he'll sack himself by his movement. He gets a little jittery in the pocket. There's only one other team in the league that throws the ball down the field more than the Vikings. But the Vikings struggle with completions down the field.
They throw it.
They try and get the ball down the field. They will throw the ball. But
that actually scares me against this defense.
For sure.
It is. And you think about this, though, but, in this is where the eye test will tell you, like, God, he missed another guy. I'm watching a game against the Commanders, the last week against the Commanders, and Hawkinson, the tight end, and Addison, and these guys are running. This team doesn't run a lot of in-breaking routes. A lot of their balls are to the outside, so they're not running in-breaking routes. But all of a sudden, Hawkinson's wide open, Addison wide open, and this quarterback just can't get him the ball.
Yeah.
So that's really the biggest issue right now. And their offensive line, I think, is a decent one. I think when you start to talk about Christian Darrisaw, he's the guy that's probably the most recognizable on this offensive line. But as a left tackle, he's had his struggles. He's had his struggles with injuries. It's a team that really particularly doesn't handle the movement stuff up front very well. You see the problems with some of the guards, some of the stunts, the way they're passed. You've seen some problems with some of the blitzes. Teams have kind of taken advantage of this quarterback, and they've got his eye level down, and he's having to deal with that. So you watch the sacks. It's been a little bit of a problem for them, but don't get ready. The ball will go down the field. And, with Justin Jefferson, he will go down the field. And Addison, he will go down the field. It's going to be about Dallas is this quarterback. Can they get enough pressure on him, on McCarthy, to make that eye level come down, and then him hold the ball and not see some of those routes that have developed down the field.
My favorite stat for J.J. McCarthy, and it's probably like 39 quarterbacks qualifying for it, but my favorite stat, he's starting, but he's the worst in the league at throwing to wide open targets.
Yeah.
He's the worst in the league.
That's like saying you're a linebacker and just don't tackle very well.
Yeah, basically, right? Like the layups.
Yeah.
The wide open.
The thing that you just have to be able to do if you're going to play this.
Correct. And you say that Dak is the best, right?
Dak's at right around 91% at open targets, and and McCarthy is right around 71, 72.
Ooh. So he's the worst in the league at he see the wide open people, throwing it and missing it. But that's kind of the story here. Like Justin Jefferson, mad.
Was he that coming out of college?
He's a guy when you watch.
I didn't think he was all that good.
Yeah, when you watched him at Michigan, though, you did see a guy that their offensive line really did a nice job. They were physical running the football.
They were a running team.
They were very much a like that team that was that Harbaugh mentality of how you play.
Yep.
That's what they were at Michigan. And, like I say, I think the thing that I liked about him the most was how competitive he was.
Very tough.
Super. And you see it. He is a guy when he runs, when he scrambles, you need to kind of be worried about a scrambling around guy. But he is a go head first guy. He's like trying to get the first down. He's not a slide guy. He is a diving to try and get the first down. So I've always admired his toughness, though, but it is wild to watch him miss throws at the rate he does.
But this Cowboys defense where dreams come true. Yeah. So this will be the one day where he'll be as accurate as possible.
He did a good job. He got the ball out against the Commanders a lot quicker than they had in the other games.
Well, I have a note for that, Derek, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you watch the Washington Football Wizards team, they gave them wide receivers a lot of space. There was a lot of cushion, about 10 yards of it. Play some zone. And we talk about Dan and them boys, they normally man up on guys a little bit, but for whatever reason in that game, they played a lot of zone. They gave a lot of cushion. The Cowboys play a lot of zone and a lot. Flus, hey, man, I know you watching. You probably ain't fooling me right now, Flus, but just watch that Commanders game. And you are an NFL defense coordinator, so I know you've seen the Commanders game. Please don't make that same mistake, because it'll be real embarrassing if you give Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison free releases. It ain't going to look good. You already don't have a corner that can, match up with them guys like man for man in that kind of way, but man might be your better out than to just let them run free. I think your best bet is to disrupt the timing. We talked about this from last week, and Jared Goff and them, they're much better at it.
They're much better at timing.
But you don't want to get embarrassed by this group who's not better at it, and you be the one defense that makes them look good at it. Please disrupt timing on these routes. Please don't let Jefferson and Addison get off the line of scrimmage easily, because the Washington team did. And no matter how good we look at their front seven, with Newton and all those guys, and Louvu and Payne and all those guys, that didn't matter because the window was wide open for him to throw. And J.J. McCarthy's not a good passer of the football. He has 9 touchdowns all year. He threw 3 touchdowns last week. You see what I'm saying? Flus, don't let that be you.
So let me ask you this question. What I'm hearing from you guys is he's the worst in the league at hitting wide open targets.
He is.
if that's the case, then why wouldn't you go into this game thinking, okay, let's force him to hit wide open targets consistently to move the ball down the field, in which case, but don't let him get the big play. And that would say you run more zone.
That's a fantastic point. But wide open, like worst in the league at throwing wide open is still 75%. So for every 4 passes, that's 3 goals. And I still don't even want to play that game. Yeah. I still don't even want to mess around because he's terrible, but the Cowboys defense make terrible people look good. Cowboys, and that's honest. Cowboys defense finds a way to make terrible people look good.
Now, that also, let's be clear.
Sure.
That was the first iteration of his defense. I don't know that the second iteration of his defense has made bad quarterbacks look good. They've only had one shot at it. That was Las Vegas. They shut him down.
Jalen Hurts put up a lot of points in one quarter.
You calling Jalen Hurts terrible?
Jalen Hurts terrible. Until they made the adjustment. I mean, look at what Pat Mahomes has been doing lately versus what he did versus you. You know what I mean? Pat played his best game versus you.
Pat's still Pat.
For sure. And I think, Jared Goff, of course, they went out there and went crazy, but that's what they do. I think you're hoping that what happened last week was just the Lions being so fantastic on offense. We were on the road.
That's what you're hoping.
The biggest difference right now is, and you could take your pick. Would you rather have Williams and St. Brown, or would you rather have Jefferson and our guy
Addison?
Addison. That's what you got to ask yourself, because I think it's a really good combination. The biggest difference of this game is the quarterback's accuracy.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's
those receivers are comparable.
Absolutely.
Those are comparable receivers.
Like you could get people to say, well, of the pair of Addison and Jefferson, who would you take? Them or Brown or Williams? St. Brown or Williams? Yeah. See, that's a good point. That's the thing about it is I've got to find ways. Early in that game against the Lions, you affected the way he threw the ball. You just got away from that. I don't think you can make the same mistake. I mean, you need to stay on this guy the whole game.
And you're saying go back to that, like aggressively.
Yes, I would rather
aggressively go get it.
I hate to be this guy, but I would rather die a quick death than a slow one.
For sure.
Don't let on third downs all of a sudden this quarterback McCarthy get in a little rhythm and all of a sudden get a little confidence that he's playing well.
With the offense you actually can sustain that, because if they get a quick one, your offense can also go down and get a quick one too.
Yeah, because honestly, you don't have top tier corners. Let's just be clear.
Yeah.
But you've played top tier receivers all year. Yeah. You've played the best receivers in the league all year. It just depends on what your coordinator doing. I think you'll do fine versus group. And Justin Jefferson's fantastic, having a bad year because of the passer. Same with Addison. Addison seems to be more of the deep ball guy than Jefferson or whatever. And they just be missing, but they be throwing them. But this all about Flus and how he's approaching it. If this was some elite Cowboys defense, I wouldn't say a good thing at all about the Vikings offense. It just happens in context of Cowboys defense. Yeah. They can give you a long day if you let them.
Real quick, too, Derek, the way they run the ball, I know you'll probably ask about that, is because they play with a fullback. This is a team that kind of they'll play an I formation. Old school football, I formation. A lot of play action in the game here. But, when you start to talk about these backs, Aaron Jones and then also Jordan Mason, the way that they run the ball, it's like it's inside, and then it's a stretch to the edge, and they try and get around the corner. Not a lot of wiggle. This is one of those teams, too, you got to worry about the screen game. They're one of the top 3 in the league when it comes to screen. We talk about it every week. What did Detroit try and do early in that game? Throw the screen, throw the swings. You saw how those kind of affect the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't particularly handle passes in the flat very well. I guarantee you Minnesota is going to try and get either a wide receiver screen or one of these screens a swing to their backs and see if they can do some good, because teams all year long have really taking you to task of having to play in the flat.
Do you expect this to be a week because of their run game? Do you expect this to be a week where they tend to do a little bit more of the 5-man front stuff?
Man, I would hope. I don't really. Man, it would be good, I think, to listen. The run fits against the Lions were really poor.
Yeah.
Really poor. I know Vach and I broke that down, on our channel, and it was, Vach did a great job of pointing it out. Like, you got guys like, why is Osa flying into the A gap and there's nobody in the B, and where's the C? And against Kansas City, you kind of saw the fits.
Yeah.
I think with this group, it's not the quality of the backs that you faced the last several weeks. It's kind of that try and wear you down offense. So, but if you play bad run fits like you did against Detroit, you're going to have some problems. I mean, it's just that's what Dallas is. It doesn't matter who's carrying the ball. If you're bad on your run fits, then there are going to be issues.
You asked, was this a good week to run out the 5-man fronts more? last week was a good time to run the 5-man.
9, 11,
I was kind of expecting
you only
they would
did
do
it,
that
and
a
you
lot.
only, you only did it 11 times.
Yeah.
Versus a much worse offensive line. Yeah. Like that Lions offensive line was so compromised, and you saw it early in the game. When me and Brian did our film session, I'm messy and petty, so I put the down and distance up there. You know what I'm saying? So while good things are happening, I'm circling like, hey, y'all, this is all in the first 2 drives of the game. Bad things happening, this is all second quarter and on. I don't know what I would love to ask him. I need to go to one of the coordinated joints and just get kicked out of there. But I would just love to ask him, what made you be successful in those first few drives? And like, what made you go away from that?
Yeah.
What made you go away
Something
from that?
spooked him.
If Flus want me to shut up next week, do what you did in the first drive last week.
First couple of drives.
Quarter.
Yeah.
Do it all. Do it the rest of the year, and I'll shut up and apologize to Flus. But he won't do that.
Will you shut up and apologize to Flus?
I will shut up and apologize to Flus.
Okay.
But Flus won't show me consistency. Right. Every time I come up in here, every time he ain't gonna take it back. Every time I come up in here, and look, I'm sick of talking about.
I told you I asked about the playing spy coverage, and that was the last.
You still ain't got it. You just got left on red.
I think that was week 3.
You got left on red. All right, we're gonna take our final break. We'll come back. I got a couple players on the defense I want to ask you guys about, specifically how they're playing over the last couple games. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the break.
Price tag.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
YouTube will do it for me. I just got to keep working.
Okay, welcome back. We're in the final segment of the break, live from the SWBC Morgan Studios.
I need
at the Star.
Do it.
All right, we got a final segment. We only got about 5 minutes left, but I did have a couple names I want to throw at you guys, and I want you to tell me your thoughts as I throw these names out. Let's start with Kenny Clark. What are your thoughts on him right now?
Man, Kenny doing all right. You know, I think teams are going to continue to adjust, and you got to keep adjusting. I think one thing Green Bay did really well with Clark when he was there, is, man, you'll see Kenny play A-gap, then you'll see him play some 4-eyed, and you'll see him play some wide, you know what I mean? And Kenny's athletic enough to do it. He's strong enough to play anywhere. I think sometimes, with his role, he gets stuck in one place sometimes, and I don't want that for him. Solomon Thomas is another guy like that. He's really good all over the place, but he's kind of stuck in that one spot, and I think it's easy for teams to make adjustments when these guys are in the same spot every time. If there's a next adjustment that I would love from whoever's in charge of the next adjustment, is you have these guys on the D-line, move them around a little bit. Jerry went on the radio and kind of alluded to it, and when Jerry makes small whispers, is really something that somebody talked to him about. He said, man, we're good enough. We got enough guys. Osa can probably get a little wider sometimes. I would love to see what that looks like, especially when you verse these teams that'll probably beat you on the run game physically. Put Kenny Clark as a edge guy where it would be Dante Fowler. Yeah. Then run your other two guys at the 1 and the 3 and play your 4-man front, your down fronts, and just have a bigger edge dude. I think that'll be great. But as far as what Kenny's doing right now, since Quentin got here, Kenny's been just as good as he was when he first got here. So.
I would have loved to see that last week. That would have been a good week to have those big guys lined up out there.
I'm just a content.
But yeah, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, I kind of feel like that with Kenny. It's the season's kind of taken its toll on him a little bit. And he early in the year, those campaigns. I mean, you get Quentin Williams in the week 11 or something like that. It's been a 4-week run or so that we've seen with Quentin Williams and him, and he's done a great job. I mean, nobody's gotten more pressures at the defensive tackle spot. I think he's like 21% pressure rate, which is better than what like an Aaron Donald has even done from the defensive tackle spot. So that shows you in that small time period. I think that's helped. Kenny, but there's been some times where Kenny has got to be careful about how tall he plays in games. There's times when he rushes the passer, you see him kind of get locked up, he gets double teamed. That's a hard thing to have to beat double teams. Teams are having to kind of determine: do you double Quentin Williams? Do you double Kenny Clark? Who do you double on this? He faced so many double teams early, and I think he's a little bit wore down now. I don't think he has that power, that punch that he had early in the season. Hopefully he can, with now the way that these games, with these games coming so quick in so many days, these guys get a little bit worn down, and I think that was kind of happening to him. Maybe this little bit of a break, this 10-day break, and getting back on a normal schedule and letting his body kind of heal somewhat, get it a little bit for this final push, he'll be okay. Hopefully that's the case. If not, though, like you say, he's been steady. He was much better earlier, but I think it's kind of the wear and tear getting to him.
Donovan Ezaraku, thoughts?
Man, he's so good as a run dude now. Like, he has such a feel as a run dude. His pass rush stuff isn't there like it was early in the season. That could be because Quentin getting there quick. I don't know. But just as a rundown guy, I'm surprised at the level of read and react on him, or like the instincts on him. He doesn't get caught up on these blocks. And maybe I'm super surprised at him because of what his peers are doing. You look at some of the other Cowboy edges. I ain't got to say anybody in particular, but sometimes they get lashed on blocks. Sometimes they run upfield and look around. Sometimes they don't, do the small technique things. Donovan Ezaraku is a guy coming out of Boston College that I thought was a day one pass rusher, year 3 good run dude. Shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Year 1, real good run dude, year 1. And the pass rush stuff is still going to be there whenever you get.
His splits are completely opposite of what I thought, and I think Vach nailed it perfectly there. I expected him to come in and the learning curve of the pass rusher would be really, really small. Not to say that he hasn't had moments, but I felt like that he was going to be a guy that was constantly harassing quarterbacks. You do see some pressures, you do, but where you've noticed him more is actually playing as a run defender.
For sure.
That's where, and that not that he wasn't a good run defender at Boston College, but not to this level.
Now he's your best guy.
Not to the point. Yeah, he is one of your best when it comes to, you were kind of thinking about, we were talking about Marshawn Nealon, and Marshawn Nealon being a guy when, that he was kind of the Tank Lawrence guy.
Sure.
I think the way you look at Donovan Ezaraku, he looks more like the Tank Lawrence guy now for you, and not just because of the tragedy, but he's kind of playing in that way. He looks like he has pass rush ability plus the plus run defense.
All right, that's a wrap. We'll be back tomorrow.
Derek had 2 more, boy, but we stretched that clock out.
I had a lot more, but actually we'll get to those another day. We will tomorrow get into the Minnesota defense versus the Cowboys offense. That'll be a challenge for the Cowboys, but we'll see how it goes. Till then, for Vach Lombardi, Brian Broaddus, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!